Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we're going to be looking at Mercury in the 6th house. So this video is for you if you do have this placement. If you're a cross-watcher, welcome as well. This video is for Western tropical astrology. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at what Mercury means, then we're going to look at what the 6th house means, and we're going to put it all together. So Mercury deals with our communication, it deals with our intellect, it deals with how we communicate, what it is that we're thinking. It also deals with our siblings, it deals with our short distance travel, and even technology, because you can use technology these days to communicate with other people. So that's Mercury. Then we have the 6th house. So the 6th house deals with health, healing, being of service. So it's really interesting when you have this placement because Mercury rules both Gemini and it rules Virgo as well. It rules Virgo in the sense of the analytical mind. So when you guys have this particular placement, you guys are going to have a super analytical mind. Every single thing you guys are going to notice, you guys are going to notice what's there, what's not there. It's interesting because it's like this placement, let's say you are a new person at a company and you guys get thrown into the company and you know, everybody who's been working at that job maybe for 20 years, 15 years, nobody noticed a certain error and you guys are the fresh pair of eyes that notices something in the system that's maybe not working, or you guys are going to question things and be like, why is it like this when we can do it like this? It's really, really interesting. Like this individual can really go around fixing things, especially when it comes to areas of like work and all these types of things, because you guys are very much all about attention to detail. You guys notice a lot of things, but the thing is this placement can very quickly go into the shadow of Virgo, where it's like you guys are overthinking, thinking too much, overanalyzing everything to the point where it's like, it's just too much mental energy. A lot of the time, you know, what I do say with the Virgo energy is that if you guys want something to be done properly in a job, in a career, in a project, whatever it is, put a Virgo person there, put a 6th house person there. That person is going to do that job to the ultimate competence, okay? You guys will notice this in our world. There are a lot of people who make a lot of errors in a lot of jobs, but if you want something done properly, if you want it done efficiently, if you want it done to the point that it's meant to be finished, you know, even like a video like this, edited properly, like everything looking nice and perfect and all these types of things, get a Virgo person to do that task. So if you guys are in any management roles and you guys have a particular task that's like, it requires a lot of attention to detail, you need it to be done efficiently and properly, put your Mercury in the 6th house person there. They're definitely going to do it to the ultimate potential of what it's meant to be. These people spend a lot of time thinking to the point where it's like, maybe you guys have your own project that you guys want to start. The thing is, a huge shadow trait with the energy of 6th house and Virgo is like, you guys sometimes spend so much time perfecting something that you guys never put it out there. For example, videos like this, maybe you guys are going to try to get it all out in one shot and then it's like it doesn't actually come out the way that you guys wanted, and then you record it again and then you get frustrated and you know, things like this, and you know, it actually never ends up getting put out there because there's that level of perfectionism that's very much connected to this energy. Now keep in mind, you know, if we look at perfectionism and things that are perfect, it does not exist. So you guys can really have a hard time when you have this placement, because it's like you guys are always seeking for this thing that doesn't exist. You guys are always seeking perfection in general in life. You guys just go into this overthinking energy. A huge advice that I have, especially for like 6th house, 12th house access, because you guys do bounce off of 12th house, is kind of like, if the information isn't here to serve you in one way, shape, or form, what's the point of keeping that information in your mind? You know what I mean? I know it's easier said than done because this placement is going to be very curious about a lot of things, because again, Mercury is ruled by Gemini. It's in the sign of Virgo. So you guys do have that Gemini curiosity because that's the Mercury energy. And it's like you guys are going to be curious about a lot of things, but it's like when you guys, you know, start figuring these things out, it's like sometimes it exists to have too much information. It really does. But this is going to be a highly intellectual placement. I feel like a lot of people who are in those like highly like very intellectual industries where it's like they really need that analytical mind are going to have this placement. For whatever reason, I'm seeing that guy from A Beautiful Mind, the one who won the Nobel Prize. Like these people, again, highly intellectual. Like it's like very intelligent. The 6th house does deal again with the mental space, but it also deals with diseases. You guys could even fall into things like hypochondria, thinking that things are wrong with you when they're not. Because again, you're trying to achieve this level of perfection. And the ultimate lesson with all Virgo energy, 6th house energy, is to understand that perfection does not exist, is really what that is. So you guys are going to be very much perfectionist in terms of your speech, in terms of how you write things, because again, it does deal with communication. You know, in terms of grammar, maybe you guys correct people on their grammar. Let's say you're dating someone and they spell your with Y-O-U-R instead of Y-O-U''re. This is like a write-off for you guys, because you guys are just like, why? Like, why are you like this? Like, why, like why, is really the energy when you do have this placement. So it's important to keep this in mind. It's really, really closely connected to, again, health, wellness. So you guys can very quickly fall into the shadow where it's like you're too obsessed with health. You're constantly thinking about it. It's like taking up a lot of your mental space and a lot of your mental energy. So a suggestion that I do have for people who do have a lot of this excess mental energy is to write. Get things out on a piece of paper, get it out of your system, and really get into the energy of being like, is this information useful for me? Am I going to use this? It's like, let's say you guys go and learn about, I don't even know, like atoms or whatever it is, and you guys aren't actually scientists. Like, why do you guys need to know that information? You know what I mean? You're not applying it in any sort of area of life, unless I guess you guys are writing a book and it's about a scientist or whatever it is. So really, really good to channel this energy. You guys are gonna have a lot of knowledge. You guys are going to know a lot of things, but you have to find an outlet is really what that is, because otherwise it becomes too much mental energy, very similar to the 12th house. It's just different because it's like the 6th house does deal with your day-to-day, your routine, your everyday things. And the 12th house does deal with the metaphysical plane. So it's like, this access can really, really quickly fall into the energy of just like knowing a lot of useless information that's not really helping you in any way, shape, or form. And it's just taking up mental energy, and you guys are constantly thinking about it. And keep in mind, the more that you think about something, it turns into emotional energy. That's something important to understand, because it's like you have your thought, but if you prolong that thought, you're adding emotional energy to it. So very, very important to figure out what it is that you guys are thinking, because it can affect your ability to manifest and all these types of things in your life, because again, you're so much in your head, right? You're so much in that crown chakra. For people who do fall into the energy of overthinking, very important to be grounded in the earth plane, not like focus too long on one task, maybe, split up your schedule and do different things, maybe hang out with your friends, like really to take you out of that headspace. Very, very fine line where it's like you guys fall into just like overthinking, and it's like you guys can be very, very critical of the world and those around you, where it's like, again, even in terms of your friendships and your friend groups, it's like, first of all, you guys need people that you can mentally and intellectually connect with. That's the first thing. But also it's like you guys can become critical of these people and then fall into isolation, because you guys bounce off of that 12th house. It's like then when you're in isolation, you aggravate that crown chakra even more. This is very similar to the 12th house energy as well for people who have Mercury in the 12th house, because it's like then you aggravate even more of that information. You're just like taking more information on, and it's like it makes you overthink, and it's just so much mental energy. It's really a lot of mental energy. So ultimately at the end of the day, the goal is to be balanced in every way, shape, and form that we can be, or at least try to achieve as much balance as we can, and find ways to, again, this is why astrology is amazing, because it's like if you do have a lot of this mental energy, find an outlet for it, or find a way to utilize it. You know what I mean? Being in maybe careers or industries where it's like it is important to have attention to detail, industries where it's like maybe even banking or being an actuary, where you guys are able to find a solution. Like these people, I can really see these people like becoming very almost mathematical in terms of their mind, scientific, like it's very much like numbers and all these sorts of things, where again, it's like you need to have that laser focus for an extended period of time. And in this day and age, our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, but that Mercury in the 6th house is able to hone that energy, right? You guys are able to hone in on something and become like, I don't want to say obsessive. It's not so much like an obsessive energy, but it's just like you guys just want to figure it out is really what that is. You guys want to figure out the answer to whatever it is that you guys are looking for. So you guys would be very good in areas like this, where you guys, again, are tunnel visioned into that thing. But again, keep in mind, you want to pull yourselves out, of this energy, really, really balance it. So I'm going to wrap up this video on Mercury and the 6th house here. I do hope that you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.